That guy you see pictured in the middle of your screen, number 97, little man ain't no joke. Let's get it cracking. Yo, 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 no maniacs, super no maniacs, and all in between. Welcome to another edition of Feed the Bears. Well, I do my job to feed you guys, the Bears, all the content we can give you. And here I am on a late evening night before my domestic partner gets home, my lady. I gotta say this, man, and this is not a film breakdown. It's not about the college players. Obviously, it's about the guys on the roster. And I'm thinking about, the dynamics that come into play when you think about Dennis Allen, his defense. And, I'm looking around at podcasts, I'm looking at, networks that are talking about this stuff now that the high is kind of worn off and everybody is over the initial excitement about, who we just acquired. I'm starting to hear a little noise, and it's starting to, the couch potato GM is starting to kick in a lot of these channels and a lot of, and I'm not understanding it really. You know what I mean? I'm a tape watcher. I watch film. That's what I do. And I start thinking about, this film next to this film next to this film when you're assembling new pieces together. And I'm thinking about, some of the stuff I heard about Grady Jarrett's contract. They paid him too much. He's over the hill. He's washed up. He's starting to decline. Listen, and people are looking at numbers to, PFF numbers to try to make that point, try to drive that point home to you. Let me tell you something. Number one, he came off of a knee injury in 2023. And so in 2024, obviously, he's not going to be necessarily the same player, but he played in every single game. I repeat, he played in every single game 1 year after a knee injury, serious enough to make him have surgery. Is normally that's the process. When you have a knee injury and you have a surgery, 9 times out of 10, there's very few humans that are going to come back, right outside of that surgery and come back and play this level of competition and play to the level that you previously played. It's going to take you a minute to get back to that level. Yes, he's 31, about to be 32. But let me tell you something. That guy is something else altogether. Altogether. And if there's anybody that can get back to that level, it's going to be Grady Jarrett. It's going to be Grady Jarrett. And so I just want to, I'm just doing this one tonight to encourage everybody who's excited about these acquisitions and excited about what this thing could look like moving forward. This is all about you guys. This ain't no tape breakdown. This is all about breathing that good energy back into you guys. And don't let people's pessimism about how much it costs and how old he is, don't let those people get to you. There's going to always be people that want to knock down and bat down and bend towards the pessimistic side of, life. That's just how people wake up. Don't let that get to you. I'm breathing new life into this. I'm telling you, when I look at this is tape breakdown that I'm going to give just a little bit. Looking at Grady Jarrett's film, one of the things that I don't hear anybody talking about, and I know it's a lot more people that know football out here, just like I do. And the one thing that I don't hear people talking about is how versatile Grady Jarrett is and how that fits into what they do. If you look at enough Grady Jarrett film, what you will find out is that Grady Jarrett can, at 6 foot, 288 pounds, line up at edge rusher. And not only line up at edge rusher, be effective at it. Get production, get to the passer, disrupt the timing of the quarterback, the whole 9 yards. If you're willing to look, you will see it. Add that feature to everything you heard about Grady Jarrett. Add that feature to how much they're saying we overpaid for him. Dennis Allen and his defense is all about being multiple, position versatile. I've said that many, many times as I'm going through these college prospects. I'm encouraging people, if you want to look at the prospects, look for these body types. Look for these body types. And sure enough, what did they do? They went and got Dio Odingbo, the exact body type that I've been describing to you guys. How does Grady Jarrett fit into that? So Grady Jarrett is one of those one-offs, in my opinion. He's a one-off, in my opinion. Why? It's because he's unique. Now, I'm going to say this now. Don't quote me verbatim for saying it, But when you talk about a three technique and you talk about body types, he's more Donald, excuse my language, Aaron Donald than any of these other three techs out here. Most of the three techs out here are, a little bit taller, 6'3", 6'4", probably about 305, 310, somewhere in that neighborhood. And those two guys never fit that mold. And so those two guys to me are one-offs. Grady Jarrett, Aaron Donald. One-offs. They're just unique football players, and I don't give a damn what your scheme is. These guys fit. How does he impact the game? And I think that's all Dennis Allen is thinking about. How does this guy impact the game? Number one, he's going to be position versatile. He's going to be multiple, and probably the most important feature outside of his impact on the game is these guys that are around him on this graphic. He's going to bring those guys along with him. He's going to instantly walk into that room and instantly, and I mean instantly, become the alpha. He's going to bring those guys up with him because of his work ethic, his drive, his desire. All of that comes with Grady Jarrett at 31-32 for all the pessimistic people, with $28 million guaranteed for all the pessimistic people. Pocket watching gets you nowhere. Look at the quality of the tape. Look at what he brings to the table. Think about the defense, how dynamic you can be as a defense with these four guys, plus Andrew Billings, plus some of the guys we have already on the roster, plus the blue chip talent that we're about to onboard when we get in the draft. Think about how multiple this thing can be and how dynamic you can be. The rotation will be thick. You talking about, you don't have to tire a guy out. Grady Jarrett's 32. He still played like 47% of the snaps. 47 snaps in a game that on an average, probably for a defender, is probably going to be anywhere between 50, 60 snaps altogether. So he might miss 10, 15 snaps throughout the game. That's impressive. That's very impressive. And so what you're getting is instantly a spark plug. You're instantly getting a leader, an alpha, and you're instantly getting a player that can be multiple, versatile. He brings a lot to the table. So here, again, I'm just here tonight before I lay it down for the evening, just to give you guys some encouragement. I don't want no smoke with nobody, and anybody that's, purse watching from Hallis Hall from a distance, cool beans to you. I'm just here to encourage everybody else that wants to be positive about this, because there's a lot to be positive about. What this kid's gonna bring to the table, and those people that you see on the graphic with him, all of them are going to get better because of him. There's guys that are not on this graphic, and you expect them to get better, and that's Zach Pickens. I expect this guy to come in here, and Zach's going to sink or swim via Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is going to either breathe some life into him, show him some stuff, bring something out of him, or Zach Pickens might not be long for this roster. That's the God's honest truth about it. And so I just want to, again, this wasn't a tape breakdown telling you what I've seen on film. That little part I told you about Grady Jarrett was just a feature that I thought I'd throw that out before I close this video. But again, people, don't let people get you down about these signings. These are great signings. These are really good signings. Very good signings. And I think they're perfect for a couple of reasons. Number one, Dennis Allen gets the feature piece at the other edge rusher, and we'll talk about him a little bit later on in the isolated video, talking about Dio a little bit and how I think he's going to be more D tackle than edge, because I do think they're going to get another edge rusher in the draft. And so we'll talk about that later. I think his best production comes from the edge. From the interior. We'll talk about that later, but I just wanted to give you guys one more little bit of encouragement, man. That's all it was tonight. Just take that for what it's worth, man, and enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. And I'll leave you guys with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, I am out.